Hello, I'm Anthony from strongmencoaching.com. Welcome. Hey, let's get right into it. I am going to be sharing with you how you can utilize ChatGPT as your own personal coach. So let's get into it right now. So I am here on the paid version of ChatGPT. Now, why am I helping you to utilize this tool to help you in improving your life? Look, I have been coaching men for close to 8 years now, and this is a very valuable tool. And I think people are going to be using it for in a variety of ways. And I know that um, you can utilize this technology to help you. Now, there are some cons to using it, right? As a life coach for men, I really get to know my clients and help them on a personal level. But one of the things that I want to share with you is how you can utilize it specifically for you and the right way to use it for your specific situation. All right. So, once again, I am here on the paid version of ChatGPT. And what you want to do is what many people often do is they get on a ChatGPT and they just start typing away, you know, give me some ideas for this, or tell me this, or what can I do about this, right? Now, one of the things and that's a mistake. You really want to utilize ChatGPT in a more personal way. And what do I mean by that? Well, what you want to do is you first want to give instructions as to a persona. For example, let's say you are interested in building more confidence, be a more confident man in your 40s. So, what you want to do is think, who can help me to do this? And who you think can help you, whether it's a therapist, a life coach, any sort of specific person that you can imagine that can help you, right? You might be somebody who's a specific religion or spirituality, or just think that a particular person might be the right person to work with you. Excuse me. And so let's go ahead and see, and I'm going to show you how you would do this for your specific situation. Okay, so I mentioned about being a man in your 40s and you want to be more confident. So the way you want to go about doing this is you give the instructions and you start off with saying, I want you to act as you could put anything that you could think of here in this moment or for your situation. You could say act as a life coach for men, right? You can say act as a um, professional therapist. You can put, I want you to act as, you could even use a specific name or a person who you think would be a great person to coach you, right? So you could even put in a specific name of a person, right? Let's say there's a famous person that you would want, somebody who's a specific author, that you think would be the right person to coach you. You can say, I want you to act as a, military officer. You could say, I want you to act as a, you could even go, you could even say, I want you to act as a Marine drill instructor, right? Definitely, I had that in my life back in the day. So I want you to act as a Marine drill instructor. Whatever you think would be the best for you, and that's how you want to start off. Is I want you to act as, let's say right here, act as a confidence, confidence. Let's just say confidence coach with with 10 years of experience helping. Let's see, helping men build their confidence, right? Now, I want you to act as a confidence coach with 10 years of experience helping men build their confidence. You can then go into anything you can imagine. Describe this person who would you think would be like the best person for you. You could say you studied you studied um, you studied under and you could say you studied under you know uh, anybody, Jim Rohn, you know any name, and you know Dale Carnegie, you know anybody who you think of would be like, wow, it would be amazing to have been coached by these people, right? You studied under Jim Rohn and Dale Carnegie. You um, are let's see, you are the you have creative ways for men to build their confidence. Now, what I like to do when I am working with men who want to build their confidence, I often tell them one of the things I tell them is confidence in what? Oftentimes people are like, I just want to generally be a confident person. And oftentimes it's better to focus on a specific area that you want more confidence in. For example, I want more confidence in being a public speaker. I want more confidence in connecting with my employees. I want to be more confident in negotiation because then you can build on that, right? And then from there, oftentimes when you're confident in one area, you can utilize that confidence in one area to help you in another area. Just because a man is presents himself as a confident man, it doesn't mean he's confident in every area of his life. No, that's not. Every man has their strengths and weaknesses. There is no, I don't care if you're an elite soldier. Believe me, I've worked with everybody you can think of: military, policemen, firemen, lawyers, doctors, professors. Believe me, they have strengths and they have weaknesses. So you're the same, right? So when you think about building confidence, think of confidence in what? So when you're using ChatGPT, you could come over here and say, you have creative ways for men to build their confidence. Confidence in public speaking, right? For example, you could say um, confidence in um, a specific sport, confidence in speaking with women, or no, don't do that. Ah, it's not what I wanted to do. So it's not what I wanted to do. So one of the things that I just made a mistake. So what I should have done is, so let me just go ahead and do something here. So what I'm going to do is, so I made a mistake, and that mistake is that I hit enter. And you don't want to hit enter. You want to actually hit shift enter to create a space. So with this here, with this short paragraph right here that I wrote, and I'm a redo it. But it says, look right here. It says, absolutely, I'm glad you reached out. Right. So it's already acting like a coach, right? Over the last decade, I've helped many men build self confidence, overcome social anxieties, and connect more authentically with women. Drawn from principles learned under Jim Rohn and Dale Carnegie. Here are some practical, right? So it's taking what you have given it, right? Oftentimes people will um, people will just come in here and say, how can I be more confident with women, for example, right? And then they hit enter, and that's not how you can utilize ChatGPT. So once again, I want to act, right? You're telling it who I want you to your persona to be. I want you to act as a confidence coach. I want you to act as a life coach with 10 years of experience. Whatever it is that you want right here. 10 years of experience helping men build their confidence. You could put right here, let's say with women, right? You studied under Jim Rohn, put whoever you think who you think can help you. You have creative ways for men to build their confidence and speaking with women. You could say, um, and this is just one example, right? I don't necessarily like to, um, confidence with women because it's like, that's more of a skill, right? But it's also confidence. But there's also a skill in it. And what I mean by skill is just having the communication skills, right? So we can do that, right? Act as a confidence coach with 10 years of experience, helping men build their um, speaking and communication skills, right? It's a skill. I would rather learn how to speak and communicate than have this idea of it being specifically to women. Because if you could, you should be able to speak to anybody. And women are people too, and they like great conversation. So it's more about speaking, communication skills, or building their um, conversation. You could even put that, build their conversation skills, right? You studied under Jim Rome, put whoever you want, and then think about it some more. You have you are able to take someone who has zero skills in conversation, and in a short time build their in the short time they are able to talk to anyone. Okay, so can you see how this is being a little more specific? This is giving instructions and not just coming in here and saying, give me this or give me that. It's, hey, I want you to act as a confidence coach with 10 years of experience helping men build their conversation skills. You studied under Jim Rohn. Think of whoever you can imagine, here today or years ago. You are able to take someone who has zero skills in conversation, zero skills, and in a short time, they are able to talk to anyone. Okay. Um, and then you can even add anything, right? You could then go to specifics, right? Um, One of the things, so I'm going to do a shift enter. One of the things is that um, you want to type in the third person, right? It's okay to use the word I here where it says, I want you to act as a confidence coach. But then once you start sharing your particulars, right, you want to say something like, the client is a man in his 40s and just be honest, right, who has never started a single conversation with someone who he was attracted to, right? Just be honest. I wouldn't use, um, just some particulars about yourself. And that goes on. That's another thing too about Chat GPT is like, I want you to give me 10 ways to tell somebody, I love them, right? But you can make it to where it's something that you perhaps would have thought of, but just didn't really think of it, right? And so that's why you're getting some help here, some assistance here, right? So use the third person and share some information with you. You could say the client is a man in his 40s who has never started a single conversation with someone whom he was attracted to. I believe that should be with somebody, yep, with who he was attracted to. However, he is a pretty funny guy and can usually make someone uh, can make anyone laugh, right? Like, put in some things like that. Hey, it's not necessarily personal information, but it's information about yourself where you can get a good, solid response. So when it does provide you with some results, it's going to be more of what someone like you, but taking who you are and building upon that, right? So you want to have these conversation skills. They might start off, hey, you can make anybody laugh. That's a great conversation starter right there. This is just an example, but you get what I'm saying, right? You can also say he um, he was he was very, or he is very interested in sports and um, health and wellness, right? Just some things that you think that may be helpful here. Why use something like sports and wellness? Well, if you're into those things, and you could put whatever is particular to you, then it'll give you more examples particularly to these types of things, right? Because if you're into these things, whatever it might be, most likely you're going to be able to get or have an opportunity to talk to somebody about these things. And so when you're building these conversation skills, this is just an example, then then it'll provide examples for you on specifically for you that may have some sports related to it, health and wellness related to it, that you're a funny guy, these sorts of things, right? Then you could say something like, or you can say something where, the exact opposite. I'm very sedentary. I play video games. He is very, um, he is very, um, he he has a few friends. Whatever it might be in your situation, few friends, and rarely goes out, right? So then once you have that, um, once you these things that you share, it may say, hey, next time you're in a coffee shop, or hey, next time, or make an effort to join a club or get out, because if you really want to build your confidence or your conversation skills, that means you want to converse with people. And so you got to get out and converse with people, right? It might say, hey, contact your closest friend and schedule time to go out, right? Just something to that effect. So then, so you want it. So once again, I want you to act as a confidence coach with 10 years of experience helping men build their conversation skills. Right? You can remember, once again, you can say whatever type of person you think would best be able to help you. What type of experience, right? You could go a little more into detail there. You studied under, who would you like them to have studied under? What type of philosophy? What type of perhaps any religion aspects to it? You are able to take somebody who has zero skills in conversation, and in a short time, right, in a short time, they are able to talk to anyone. So share of like what you would want from this information, and then share a little bit about yourself, and then at the end, right? So shift, enter. What do you want? Give me give me 5 ways to easily start building my conversational skills, right? Give me 5 ways to easily start building my conversational skills. You could say, I want a list of 100 things. Give it some instructions of what it is that you want. So one, who is it that you want ChatGPT to respond like? Then you share about who you are, and just use it in the third person. I recommend in a third person, just so it's not like I do this, I do that. It's just, hey, there is this person, it's you perhaps, and then share things about yourself. Do you like sports? Do you anything, foods, anything that you think would help you in this situation right here? And then you give it instructions saying, based off of what I've shared with you, give me 5 ways to easily start building my conversation skills. Give it some instructions. You could say, I want 2 ways. I want, one, I want 52, one for each week that build upon the last one, type of deal thing. Right. So just for, um, just for being interested to see what would come about from these instructions, let's go ahead and you could click enter or click on this up button. All right, here are 5 practical ways you can start flexing those conversational muscles and build your confidence. Each step is grounded. Remember, look at each step is grounded in the timeless principles that I learned under great mentors like Jim Rohn and Dale Carnegie, right? If you were a religious person, if you had a certain philosophy, if you had certain ways of seeing the world, that's where you would put, hey, this confidence coach, you could say, hey, I want you to be leaning more on the, Buddhism spiritual side. I want you to be a little more on the Taoism side. I want you to share, Christian beliefs or whatever that might be, because that's what your responses that you're going to receive are going to be more similar to. They're going to be in that thing, right? And they've been proven, right? And they've been proven effective for men in their 40s and beyond who want to start connecting more easily. So, what did we ask? We asked for 5 ways. So, what are those 5 ways? Practice micro conversations in safe settings, right? Talk to people at the store, coworkers. Make it a daily challenge, even a thing that says why it works. Use observational openers, right? Comment on the environment, you know, so if I would have asked for 10, I would have gotten 10. If I would have asked for one, it would have given me one, right? If I would have said a man in my 30s, it would have said here, your 30s. Men are going through different or have different things going on perhaps in their 30s than men in their 40s, right? Um, here, you could say if you're divorced and why you know you were divorced. If you're a father, once again, third person. Um, Anything that will help in giving you a response according to your situation, right? So I got 5 responses. Ask easy, open-ended questions. How or what, right? What got you interested in this sport, so forth and so on. Leverage your humor. See what it says right there? Leverage your humor. Keep it light. It got that based off of you saying that he is a pretty funny guy and can usually make anyone laugh, right? So based off of that, you could say, however, he's a very grumpy guy and rarely has any desire to talk to anyone. You would have gotten a completely different response because it may build you from, hey, let's perhaps build on your ability to laugh and ability to want to go out and talk to people, right? um, there's some little things that help in who you are as a person, right, that can make somebody laugh in this example, right? Go to a story, go to a topic, right? So these are good things that it's taking, right? It's taking this information that you've given it. Now, let's say, because now ChatGPT remembers these different or these inputs, you can then say, you can then come back later and say, hey, I have completed all of your all of your five suggestions, and then explain what happened. I really liked, let's say, I really liked asking open-ended questions, right? So I really liked asking open-ended questions. Please provide provide me with your recommendations to continue building my conversation skills. Right? You could go into more. Hey, oh no, you could say the client has has completed. You, if you want, I recommend you use third person. But if you want to say I and though, first person, that's your decision. I usually like to use third just to keep it, in third person. I don't, it's not about me, but it is about me. But I'm not, wanting that information to be, kept or what have you, But the client has completed all of your suggestions. He really liked asking open-ended questions. Please provide him with to continue building his his conversational skills. Now, you could go into this right here. Hey, the client has completed all of your suggestions. He really he really did not like any of them, right? Um, he really did not like any of them. He really tried. I mean, I would hope that, of course, this is just an example, right? He really did not like any of them. He really tried. Please provide him recommendations um, on how to continue so that he can. Yep, so that he can continue. Yep, so that he can continue. Right, building his conversational skills. So this is. You could even say, "Hey, the client has completed all of your five suggestions. He really liked liked them, um, especially the open-ended questions. Right? Please provide him with your recommendations so that he can continue building his conversation skills." So let's see. Go ahead and click here, and so it remembered these instructions that you provided up here. This is why it's important to really think about these instructions. Okay. Now, does it mean that you can't add more here? No, you absolutely can. Right. So once again, great to hear you've been practicing and seeing some amazing or some results. Conversation skills, like any skill, grow best through consistent practice, right? And slightly pushes beyond the comfort zone. Here are some next level recommendations. Okay, keep a conversation log, right? Focus on deeper listening, expand the social, right? And look, it gave me five more. You could say, hey, I want one more. Or you can come back and say, the client, um, the client is having a hard time starting conversations. He conversations. He would like to get some more basic recommendations, right? And so forth and so on. Now, this is a way you can utilize Chat GPT to help you in building your confidence. Now, the one thing that it doesn't give you is really that personal interaction, someone really getting to know you, another person that gets to know you and can really have a conversation with, right? Talk about conversations. And this is where a life coach for a man like myself comes in, where it's chatting with someone, it's talking to somebody, it's communicating with someone, it's someone really getting to know you and able to see things that you might not be seeing yourself. And yet, the other thing, in addition, that ChatGPT doesn't give you is support, right? In life, we need support, we need help, we need encouragement, we need accountability. And it's this that allows us to flourish. ChatGPT is a tool, it's great. And if you'd like to use it, just as I showed you, great. You're going to get some great and wonderful ideas. You could take it, run with it. But oftentimes, it takes support to get you to that next level. So if you'd like to chat, I'm Anthony at strongmencoaching.com. Until next time, stay strong.